Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all feeling today? Who said hot? You're in the wrong place. It's not hot. We've got wonderful air conditioning here. Yeah. Can I just first of all say, what a beautiful room we have today. Got such beautiful people. But give yourself a round of applause. Fantastic. So, welcome. My name's Saeed. I'm the area manager for the Plaistow and the Green Street neighbourhood. So I'll be guiding you through today's session. We've got lots of people to do some introductions to a little bit later on. But welcome to Green Street's People Powered Places, Our Ideas launch. That was a bit of a mouthful, wasn't it? Okay, this session is a hybrid session. So what that means is we've got people around the room here face to face, and we've got some wonderful people online, and we can see our facilitator, Anna, online. Let's have a look if we can see Anna. Anna's giving us a double hand wave. And we've also got to say to Anna, congratulations, she just recently got married. Fantastic. Okay, so if we could just go on to the slides, please. So we have got some refreshments outside. So anytime throughout today's session, if you need to get some water, please do go outside, get some refreshments and get some fresh air should you need to. Okay. So let's go through some brief introductions and give you a quick overview of what's happening today. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of some housekeeping, why we're here. There's going to be lots of discussions a little bit later on, so you better all get involved. We've got some table facilitators I'll introduce you to a little bit later on as well. Okay, wonderful housekeeping. We're not expecting a fire alarm, so if the alarm does go off, it means it's a real one. So all the table facilitators and staff members, if you just raise your hands. Okay, so these are all the staff members that will guide you out through the nearest exit. So you can see the nearest exit outside to the left, and it's by the bus stop. So if there are any issues. I mentioned it's a hybrid meeting, so cameras can be on, can be off, but we'd love to see you if you're online. We will be taking some photographs. We've got another slide that I need to tell you about, just to cover ourselves. We do have two wonderful BSL interpreters today. So if you do need any support, please do let us know. Let your staff staff members know. So we've got Dawn and Irina. Okay, so let's do some introductions around the room. So we've got some amazing people who have helped to put this event and session together. So I've got Samuel, who's going to be our IT expert.
Hi, everyone.
And another expert there who's Ricky. Table facilitators, if you could just raise your hands and just shout out your names, please. Tim. Andrew. Who's at the back there? Was that Mariam? Mariam, and I think someone else shouted something out just now. Yeah, you should all know Dilwar. He's been doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. So your table facilitators, a number of them are experts in particular fields. So we've got Tim, you're an expert in youth. Yeah. So we've got Mariam, who's an expert in everything. And we do have some online experts as well from our highways team. So I'll explain that a little bit later on. Okay. Okay. So I'm not going to read this out, but when you came into the centre, we asked your consent to take photographs. So some of you have got lapels and some badges. So those who do not wish to have their photograph taken or video involved in video clips, please do let us know. Ricky, you're doing a bit of filming. So those who are wearing the lapels, if you could just let them know. We will like to use, with your permission, in social media, all council outlets. Okay, thank you. So what is People Power Places? So I'm just looking around the room. So many faces that I recognise. We've got our Filipino community here, who's everywhere. We've got, where's Rosina's group? There's Rosina, she's everywhere as well. Yeah, we've got I'm going to introduce you to our working group members a little bit later on. But who has been to one of these People Power Places programs before over the years? If you could just raise your hands. Don't be shy. Please raise your hands. Yep, so a lot of the room. So lots of, and if this is your first time, if you could let us know if it's your first time. Okay, so quite a few people first time. And I could just see Junaid, he's waving at the back there. He's like saying, why didn't you mention me? So Junaid is from Hope for Humanity. Again, a great supporter. We've got Magic Care Moments as well. I'm just looking, they just caught my eye. And we've got Abdul Shakur from the Stroke Association as well. Okay, so what is People Power Places? So People Power Places is one of the largest participatory budgeting programs in the UK. We're actually trailblazing. Lots of other boroughs want to mirror what we do and how we deliver it. We've been going since 2018 and now in 2025, and it's been growing from strength to strength. £1.6 million has been allocated to Newham as a borough. And this money comes from something called NSIL, which is Neighbourhood Infrastructure Levy. So this is where organisations come into the borough and they put on new developments. So part of that development, they give us a charge back to the council, and then that charge is used to support community groups to improve that local community. Amazing I think if you, as you walked through, did anybody see that big map? Thank you. So you are listening to me. Yeah, if I get too bored, I'll start seeing people's eyes start dropping. Yeah. So with that map, it actually illustrates over the 300 projects that have been delivered since 2018. A huge number of projects. And just last year alone, I believe there's 114 projects that were delivered in the last cycle. Phenomenal amount. And we engaged with over 50,000 people. So it worked. We've got some facts and figures about that. And I know lots of you have been involved. So how does it work? So each neighbourhood will be allocated around £200,000 for each neighbourhood across the borough. And this neighbourhood, what neighbourhood is this? I've never heard Andrew at such a high pitch before. So what we really want to make sure is, because these assemblies are running across the borough, and I want to make sure that you all know that you're part of the best neighbourhood in the borough, which is Green Street. Excellent. So looking at the cycle, we've tried to simplify the cycle. So last time, if you were here, you saw the cycle was quite a lengthy one. So we've split it down into 5 simple steps. So the first step from June to July is where you are here today to look at the priorities. You'll be looking at the priorities that affect you as residents, community groups here in Newham. Then from July to September, applications. So we're going to be encouraging all of you to put some applications through to address some of those priorities. And then in November is the big vote, where people will be voting for the projects that they feel is most important to them. Following that, from March 2026 through to February 2027, people will be delivering on their projects. So it's a 2-year cycle. It's quite a lengthy process, but once you start kickstarting the program, it flows very, very quickly. Thank you.
Oh, that's a bit trigger happy. Here we go.
Okay, so each year we look to improve the cycle year on year. Through a co-design process, we work with community groups, we work with project leads, we work with volunteers, we work with corporate leads to actually see if we can improve the program so it benefits the residents. So this year, for the £200,000, we've ring-fenced funding. So resident groups can pitch for up to 25% of the total grant. This year's very new initiative is we've been listening to young people. So 25% of the total grant will be given and offered towards youth groups, and the rest 50% will be allocated to projects, volunteer, community and faith sector. We can explain that more in your groups a little bit later on. Again, some changes, and this is by listening to you as residents, community groups. We've launched something called the Alumni Network, and what the Alumni Network means is that we're looking at community leadership. So part of community leadership is individuals that have been involved in projects before. There's a sustainable process, so they will be involved in supporting and networking with new projects and those projects who need a little bit more support. So that is the Alumni Network. We've also created a youth advisory board. So that youth advisory board will oversee some of the projects to make sure that projects are youth friendly, youth focused, and with youth in mind. And we've got someone from our youth team here today, from our youth advisory board, that will give some more information. And another new thing this year is that projects who will be applying, they can only apply a maximum of 3 times. So for example, Junaid, where's Junaid gone? He's disappeared. Rosina, Newham Community Projects, how many times have they applied for their funding? Yeah, so once or twice, they can't apply more than 3 times. Yeah, so this will, if you make it through on your projects, I think that will be the final time. So just to let you all know that it's not the same groups that are funding, we're going to open it up as wide as possible. Thank you, Sam. These are some very important people here in Green Street, your local councillors. So I'm going to ask the Green Street councillors if they would be kind enough to come to the front and say a few words. Councillor Amma's got a very, very long title, so I'm gonna, if I get it wrong, I want to make sure I don't, so I'm going to give it over to you. Councillor Larissa? Councillor Mirza? Okay, Councillor Mirza? Okay, councillors, a maximum of 2 minutes. A maximum of 2 minutes, councillors. There we go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Very happy to see you all. A lot of familiar faces, a few new faces. Would love to see more young people, more new faces involved, but still very, very happy. And thank you so much for coming in this hot weather to this wonderful event. Thank you to the team for organizing it. It's really good. What I would suggest and what I want as a local councillor, for all of you, when you come with your projects, to contribute and to make our best Green Street neighborhood even better. And after, for yourselves to be proud and to say, I did this project, and you can see great results that you actually did something with your projects to make our neighborhood better and to bring more improvements. So, okay, I promise that my speech will be short. Again, thank you so much for coming. So now to my colleague, Councillor Mirza.
Thank you, Larissa. Councillor Mirza from Boleyn Ward. Thank you, everybody, again for coming, and really pleased to see a lot of people in under one roof. It's been very hot, but thank you for coming. Yes, we would like to see good projects. I've seen some good projects come out of this Green Street neighborhood last time, and were very successful and very popular in the community. And obviously, as Said said, we want to see more young people involved, and we would like to see some projects which benefit the young community as well. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Councillor Mirza. So, Councillor Ahmed, Statutory Deputy Mayor, thank you for joining us this evening, and round of applause for all those that actually participated in the projects before us. And well done on what you've achieved. Look, I think this is one of the probably the most insightful and best opportunities for residents to take ownership of projects and lead by example. One of the key things I looked at when this initiative was started was how the community comes together to change the landscape of what Newham wants to be and how you want to see it. And we touched upon not just young people, but the aging world population. Some of the initiatives that I've seen, that I've attended, have been remarkable. And I think that's what's fundamentally important about how we stay united amongst ourselves, that we don't forget our aging world population that served Newham and done so many great things. And it's a testament to all you that have given up your time to be here once again. I know our role isn't as much as what it was before as part of the working group, but you've got some really good working group members and volunteers that are going to start shaping the dynamics of the priorities of the PPP. And as many people as you can encourage to get involved in this cycle, we much appreciate. As I touched upon this, some really good things about the individual projects. So those organizations that might not be established, as individuals, you can actually achieve quite a lot. So I'm just grateful for the fact that there's so many of you here again today, and just continue to mobilize and do that great work. And I'll continue to champion all the projects that are coming here, and it's really important to have you here with us. So thank you very much. Enjoy the evening, and see you soon.
Thank you, Councillor Amma. I also just want to double check, have we got any councillors online? we just have a quick look, so I don't want to miss out. We do have people online as well.
Hello, we have Councillor McLean here, and I think we did have another councillor, but I think they've left.
Okay, does Councillor McKeon just want to say a quick hello? Hi, Councillor.
Hiya.
Can we all give Councillor McKeon a big wave?
There we go.
That's great, thank you. So if any other councillors do pop up, give us a shout through, Anna, thank you. Okay, so you heard from our councillors and they're very inspiring and hopes it gives you a sense of confidence. Next slide, I believe it's welcoming our corporate lead. So every neighbourhood has a corporate lead, and that corporate lead sits at the top of the organisation. And we're very fortunate enough to have Laura Eden, who's the corporate director for children and young people, who will like to say a few words. But the main role that we see is that we will feed into all the projects, talking about the success of the projects, hearing about how they're going, but also where there's challenges, we can go to Laura and say, Laura, we've got some concern, can you help us? So Laura, over to you.
Thank you, thanks very much, and I hope I look better in person than I do in my photo. So thank you very much for having me. I'm really delighted to be here. Do not boo me, because I'm actually the lead for East Ham. However, I did swap with my director of safeguarding, Math Khan, and he's going to East Ham next week, when I heard that there's a real focus in this area on young people and children and young people, because I'm the corporate director for children and young people. So it made sense more for me to be here. So I swapped with him, and they'll boo him there when they find out he's the lead for your area. So I know there's been some fantastic projects. I'm a real believer in that the communities know best and they understand best what their community needs. And only when we listen to those in the community and those living in that community, those breathing the community, does the real magic happen when we come to the project. So I'm particularly excited, and I would be, wouldn't I? And, you know, I'm not supposed to have favourites, but, you know, that does happen, about the young people projects and about really pushing that area, because they are our future generation, aren't they? I'm also really excited about the Youth Advisory Board, because that's another way to give our young people a voice into their community. Often we don't always hear from them. Sometimes we hear from our young people a little bit too much, I guess, but sometimes we don't hear from them and how they can contribute to their own community and how they can give back and how they can be a real part of change. So they're our future, particularly excited about that board. And just enjoy the evening, and I'll be here and you can ask me any questions and I'll try my best to answer them. But thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Laura. There's lots of projects that were delivered last year around young people, so hopefully we have a lot more this year. Okay, so over the last couple of months, we've been going around recruiting working group members. So these working group members are residents who live, work, or stay in the area, learn in the area, and they have been pivotal, and they will be pivotal in ensuring that the projects are delivered on. So they'll be providing advice, guidance, evaluating, monitoring the projects, and being really, really involved. It's a 2-year voluntary program, so you're not all stuck here forever. You're volunteers, but we hope that you will stay with us. So if it's okay, can I ask, have we got another mic going around, Dilwar? So if you wouldn't mind just working group members, if you wouldn't mind just standing up or raising your hand, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you'd just like to say a few words, if you would, that'd be lovely.
Hi, everyone. I'm Valmira, and it's a pleasure to see all of you today. This gives me hope that this year we will have amazing projects and amazing ideas, and look forward to kind of collaborate with all of you and to support you to make this happen. I'm for 2-3 years now supporting this process. I see a lot of change. We have a lot of legacy and we have still a lot of work to do. So look forward to support and help you in this process. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lima, and I wanted to join my local working group because I believe that being involved in your local community is an important part of being a contributing citizen. And I'm ready to give my all to being on the working group and making these projects go forward. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is my first time I joined working group as a resident of Green Street. Personally, I believe to bring change in society, positive change, and everybody has to play a role. So this is my chance to do something. Is probably one of the best platform to work together and bring some good change and positive change in our society, especially the diversity we have. It is our strength. I believe in that. And our shared values togetherness. So I believe if we do play some part in that, we can bring some good change in our neighborhood. And also, I want to say, if we can't do anything, we can support those who can. So this is the best thing you can do. So all of you are here to support those who can bring the change in the society and in the community especially. So I would like everyone to come forward. If you have any idea, bring it forward, and we'll be happy to support at every stage of as a member of the group, working group. And we are looking forward to see some wonderful projects from youth and from everyone, from in fact, residents, local residents, especially youth. I personally believe they are the one who can bring real change. So thank you. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much. Any other working group members? Don't have to, so Aisha? No?
Hi, my name's Aisha Sheikh. I've been working in this borough for over 25 years as a teacher. I'm currently an assistant head. So I'm quite involved in lots of groups in the borough. I'm also on quite a few council groups. Over the last 2 years since I've been involved, we've had some really amazing projects. I'm sure you can see some of them who've come to fruition, you know, the community garden, the stroke unit, some of the community groups that we've, the work that's been held in the borough. And basically, we just want to take the next step forward. As people have said previously, we want younger people to get involved as well. So we want all ages. And the community groups I'm sure can go from strength to strength if we all come together and work in collaboration. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Aisha. I just saw Shameen run from the garden. She's helping out volunteering in the garden. And as soon as we heard about the work, she came running in.
So I was summoned. But hello everyone. My name's Shameen. I'm a Newham resident. I've lived in Newham for over 40 years. And for me, I wanted to make a purposeful contribution in the community. I wanted to give something back. So when the working group opportunity came up and I was gently pushed to apply for the role as well, I took the opportunity. But it's lovely to see so many of you here. We're really, really happy to see so many people. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much. So, wow, don't we have some amazing working group members, both existing and new? So can we have a big round of applause again for these working group members? Fantastic. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, we mentioned earlier, and I think Laura mentioned as well, about the Youth Advisory Board. So the Youth Advisory Board, there was over 100 applications put through and 15 young people were selected. And these young people, especially for this round, will be spending their time ensuring that projects, ideas have a youth focus, have a youth element. So I am going to ask Zainab if you'd like to come and say a few words. Okay, give us a round of applause for Zainab.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zainab, and I'm here on behalf of a generation that's not just growing up in this world, but speaking out, taking action, and refusing to be ignored. We live in a world that's changing faster than ever, from social media to climate change, from education to mental health. And young people are right in the middle of it all. And too often, decisions are made about us without including us. That's why the Youth Advisory Board matter. That's why this moment matters. We're not here to tick a box. We're here because our voices bring lived experiences, creativity, and bold ideas. We notice things that others miss, like how mental health support in schools doesn't always reach the students who need it the most, or how some opportunities still feel out of reach depending on your background, your neighborhood, or who you are. But we're not just here to point out what's wrong, we're here to help build what's better. We want to co-create solutions, challenge outdated systems, and push for progress that includes everyone. That means creating safer spaces to speak up, using real data and real stories to shape decisions and make sure youth voices aren't just heard, they're taken seriously. To the adults and decision makers, trust us, listen to us, not just today, but consistently. Give us a seat at the table. Don't just expect noise, expect movement. You'll see how we've been ready all along. To my fellow young people, stay brave, keep questioning, keep showing up. Our voice is our power. And when we raise them together, we can spark real, lasting change. So let's use it. Thank you.
That was a very, very powerful speech. That was amazing. Can we give Zainab another round of applause? I wish I was young again. That was so much confidence. Yeah, so well done. Thank you. So please do, if you've got any project ideas and you've got any concerns, come and speak to the Youth Advisory Board member, Zainab, okay? Okay, so a bit more serious stuff now. So in terms of Newham has 8 priorities. I'm not going to go through all the 8 priorities, but what it focuses on, and I think we mentioned earlier, the councillors mentioned earlier, that we focus on a healthier and aging well Newham. We're looking at a safer Newham, supporting our young people, which is resonating throughout today's session. It will be actually really interesting when we do the voting for the priorities, where those numbers and where those priorities lie. Again, I'm not going to read all this stuff because I'll fall asleep. So these are the 6 priorities that you've all been voting on. Have you all voted? Yeah, for those who haven't voted, I want to come back to you in just a moment. So the 6 priorities that you will be choosing from the corporate priorities is health and well-being, inclusive economy, environment and public spaces, community safety, youth empowerment, community development and participation. So they're quite broad. They're quite broad. And when you go onto your tables, there's a bit more description under each of those, and your table facilitators will help you navigate through that. Wow, so voting started on the 3rd of June and concluded on the 22nd of June. So this is where residents, community groups were voting for their top 3 priorities. So you could go online, you could come into the libraries, into the community centres. We've done days at the park. So there's been lots of avenues for you to be able to vote. And we've had a phenomenal number of 338 people have actually voted so far. So hopefully we can bump that number up today for those who haven't voted. Okay, so we're going to have I'm going to stop talking for a bit. We're going to go on to the next slide. If I just check the next slide. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to break out into your rooms. Each table facilitator will be around the table guiding the conversations, because you're going to be talking and discussing what the priorities are for your group and your table. Okay, so there's 6 cards on the table. The facilitator will help you, guide you through that. Then in about 15 to 20 minutes time, we're going to ask for you who haven't voted to go online, and again the facilitators will help you to do your final vote. So this is the final time you can vote. If you've already voted, you can't vote again, but we'll come back. I will give you a 5-minute notice for when we're going to do that. Then we're going to go around the tables and get a bit of feedback. Does that sound okay, everyone? Thank you for listening to me for a bit. So it's a bit of me stop talking now. So the next 15-20 minutes, you're going to go into your breakout room. So we'll join again in just a moment. Okay? Thank you. Okay, over to you, table facilitators. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna
ask you all to come back into the room. Think about that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, table facilitators, if you could bring each of your conversations to a close now, please. And if you haven't voted, you will not be able to vote. Mariam, has everybody voted on your table? Dilwar? Excellent. Okay, Anna, is everybody okay from the online? Fantastic, thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make a start with some feedback. Could I have some help with the mic, please? Okay, so we're going to get some feedback now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would really appreciate it if we all kind of brought our conversations to a close. So we're going to take feedback from tables. So, Afia, I think your table's still in deep conversation. There's going to be plenty more conversations going on in a moment. You can't hear me? Are you sure? Who said they can't hear me? Mr. Shakur. Okay. Can you hear me at the back? Thank you very much. Okay, so as we're at the back, have we got a mic at the back? No? Okay, Afia, can we get some feedback from your table, please? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just some ground rules. Sorry, just some ground rules. When people are speaking, it will be very polite to just stop talking to listen to them.
So we have Martin here who would like to say a few words.
Hello, my name is Martin. I live near Queen's Market on Green Street, and I'm particularly interested in the inclusive economy priority for 2 or 3 reasons. One, Queen's Market is an important actual and future resource for creating community wealth and for people to get their first job and to work in the economy. Secondly, Green Street is also an important economic hub, but is going through problems. So recently, some of the traders met with Stephen Timms and Councillor Larissa Zilikaja and Councillor Arma Verdi, saying that trade was difficult in Green Street and they needed to pay lower business rates and that type of thing. And then thirdly, there needs to be more focus on getting visitors and people that come to Green Street and Queen's Market to visit more often, because people come to buy their wedding gear in Green Street. People can travel sometimes across half London to go to Queen's Market. So there's an opportunity with the new Green Street Community Centre, the new community hub, where the library in Green Street is going to move to Amaragar by Queen's Market. There's an opportunity there to use that as a new dynamic hub to encourage these activities. And I'm happy to talk to anybody tonight or next week or at meetings about improving the engagement of the future community hub, the new library, which will be opening in the spring after February. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Afia, if we can get the mic to the back, I'm going to get one of these tables at the front. Andrew, have we got someone on this table who would like to give some feedback?
Hi. So our group, we discussed all the priorities, and one of the 3 main ones that came out were health and well-being. We felt that it's a really important priority because better health will improve to better outcomes in lots of different ways. Can you hear me? Yeah. We also felt that environment and public spaces is one of the key most concerning for us on this group, because a lot of the residents and people felt that, you know, the fly tipping, the cleaning, for example, was that really taking place? whose responsibility is a fly tipping, and you know, our children are growing up and residents are growing up in this environment. Is it fair? So we talked about the public spaces and that. And the other priority was about community safety. Quite a lot of people on the group felt that they didn't feel safe going out after 9 o'clock. Obviously they've heard about pickpocketing and all the other crimes that are taking place in the area. So people didn't feel safe. So they were the three main ones that came from our group. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha, for volunteering. Okay, can we get some feedback from the back table there?
So we have Zara here, who's attended one of these events for the first time. So you can share your feedback.
Yeah. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm so excited to have this opportunity as a member of the community. This is my first time to attend this. I just feel so happy to have this opportunity, and at the same time, I would prefer to have more opportunities like this so that all the communities come together and then we communicate such. We lay out all our problems, we lay out all the job opportunities so that the councillors can reach out to the council and we fulfill it. We talked about community development. For example, now here, we many, but we see that the community is not enough for us. So the room is not enough. So we reach out to all the leaders so that they can give us that opportunity, and then we get big spaces for all our youths, even for ourselves, and then the culture and development. So we said even the youth empowerment, the youth also want these developments because they come out with their youth development. Let them do what they're supposed to do in the community. Let them come out in the community. So it enables them to stand out as they are. We said health and well-being, good enough. We thank that the elders are here as well. They've tried to come and then they join the community. If this opportunity is given to them, and then every month or every year, we get like 5 or 6, these opportunities to come out and they lay out their issues, and then they come in a community like this. I'm thinking it's enabling environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We're going to make sure that we have a conversation with you after the assembly. So thank you very much. So we can't forget that we've got people online as well. So let's, if we okay, Samuel, to switch over to Anna's group online. Over to you, Anna.
I'm terrible. I never asked who would like to feed back. I mean, we just thought that they were all really important. Health and well-being came up a lot. Youth empowerment, inclusive economy, as well as the gentleman saying, especially around supporting young people to find work. We also spoke about community safety. So yeah, we spoke about all of them and really saw the merits in each priority.
Thank you very much, Anna. So let's go through a couple more, and then we're going to go through the big grand reveal. And I'm sure you're all excited about that, aren't you? You're all excited about that, aren't you? Excellent. So Roy, from the, because we had we've got another room at the back in the blue room. So we're going to ask Roy to say a few words. Let me get the mic.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roy. I am from the Henry VIII Socials. We did one project last year, and we are very happy to be here involved in this conversation. And in our group, what dominated the conversation is just like everyone else's. It's health and safety. Everybody wanted to be healthy. Everybody wanted to live to 150. So might as well just do projects that will keep us to that age. Another one is public safety. Yes, we had a very nice discussion around everybody wanted to feel safe. And East London in general is not somewhere we could really say to be safe. So project that would make us all feel safe would be ideal to be pushed forward and to be funded really. But more importantly, there is a group of people that needs to be targeted because everybody feels that they are left and forgotten. And these are the youth. I hear the very famous somebody who said, the youth is the hope of, let's not go far, the hope of Newham. And therefore, let's also invest on something that would cater to the need of the youth. Henry VIII Socials is a good example, and our experience last year, engaging the youth, though challenging, really put the youth as a center of our advocate this year. So hopefully that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy. Just looking around the room, is there anybody else who would like to share anything? No? Okay, we're going to take one more, and that's from Iku. Echo? We got a mic there?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Eku, and I am more interested in older people, helping out older people. So at St. Martin's, we have a club every last Saturday of the month. Harissa always attend the club. It's about people who are on their own, who are, don't have people to speak to. I think we need to interact with elderly people. So if you want to attend the club, please speak to Larissa, myself, and our host. What's your name again? Sorry. Yes, please. Yes, please. And we choose priority is health. Our health is so important. When we wake up, we should drink water and eat. Because for 8 hours, we're already dehydrated. When we wake up, please, elderly people, eat and drink water.
Well, thank you very much, Echo. You got one more? Yeah, absolutely. This is the opportunity and the time for you to share your thoughts and views. So absolutely, go for it.
I'll pass it on to Wahida, who's previously run a project from Magic Care Mowers.
Hi everyone, my name is Wahida. We have delivered one wonderful project last time. We're working with special needs children. So we do dance club and art club with special needs children and other children as well from the society to show them how to work together, how to create artworks. I just want to say very quickly one thing. This is a wonderful place and wonderful people around. We have Delwar here, Said and Andrew there, and my personal favorite, Larissa, and everybody here. They are really helpful. If you're first time here, they will help you from the day one until you successfully complete your project. They are really helpful people here. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And how special was that to hear about everybody's, you can see that out of each of the priorities, everybody talked about each of the priorities. We didn't get too much on the inclusive economy. I think that is something we need to think about in terms of the wording, because that's all about employment, training, support, and we need that across the whole of the borough. Okay, so I know you're all waiting, aren't you? You're all waiting eagerly for the results, aren't you? I'm not leading you. I'm not saying you are, but you are, aren't you? So let's do a countdown. So let's do a countdown from 5. Yeah. So let's all do it together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the results. Woo! Okay, so everyone's getting their cameras out. Everyone's standing up. The results are in. So in first place is health and well-being. And in second place is community safety. And in third place,
That's second. That's good.
sorry, this is third, isn't it?
Second.
This is second. So listen, sorry. I'm going to go back. Second place is community development and participation. So that's second. And in third place, the third priority that you'll be focusing on is around community safety. So well done, everybody. Sorry, that was poor. That was really poor. Well done, everybody. Fantastic. So those are the 3 priority areas that you'll be focusing your projects on. I know lots of people have been talking about youth today. That's a resonating message, but it doesn't mean that youth projects can't be incorporated into those priority areas. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, so the last part of the session now we know what the 3 priorities are. I thought that's 3. What the 3 priorities are around your room for the next 15, 20 minutes is you're going to be discussing those 3 priorities, and on the tables, each of the table facilitators will have the priorities there. Can you start to think about, or you may already have some ideas and thoughts about projects that would meet and address those priorities? Is that okay? Does everyone understand that? Yeah, for the next 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll bring it back, and then we'll bring the meeting to a close. Okay, so back over to the table
Saeed,
facilitators. Thank you.
Can I say something, Saeed? No? Right. I was just going to say, Georgina, I know you're here. So if anyone's got any high-raised questions in the room, I've asked them to find out. Oh, let me pause.
Okay, so Anna, are you okay online?
We're all good online.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do, so ladies and gentlemen, just for the last part of the session, we're going to get some feedback. We're going to try and hear some of the ideas that have been generated that will be looking to address some of those key priority areas. So I'm looking at Marianne. I'm looking at your table. Where's the other mic? Does anybody have the other mic? Yep, so we've got a mic. So Mariam, and then after Mariam's table, it will be Samantha. Okay, so over to you, Shamim.
Hello.
Sorry, Shamim. I'm just going to tell people in the corridor to keep it quiet for a second, please.
Hi, we were discussing some ideas. I'm presenting on behalf of a friend of mine who couldn't be here today, but she basically does energy healing. She's a Qigong practitioner. She does meditation, and she wanted to do art therapy in the community where she teaches the writing of Chinese calligraphy and meditation and Qigong. And, you know, in some cases, it's been proven to bring down blood pressure and stress levels in the elderly. So that's what she's passionate about, really. It would build as weekly classes from writing Chinese calligraphy to the meditations and the Qigong practices, and really doing a checklist on people's well-being and see how they found over the last few weeks if their health has improved as a result of that. So thank you. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you. And here's Wahida.
We were discussing about last year project and this one as well. Last year we worked with special needs children. This year we'd like to work with special needs children's family as well, because what we have noticed, I have a child who is autistic as well. So what we have noticed around that special needs child or children, the family also suffers a lot. So their health and their well-being also equally important. if I compare to the child as well. So this year we would like to work with the family more to give them nutrition advice and more advice on speech therapy, educational psychology. So we are going to give them more advice on those areas to the family, and we are going to work more closely with the family for their health and well-being, including, and we will be working as well, continuing working with special needs children as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Wahida. We're going to come over to Samantha's table, and then we're going to go over to Valmira's table.
So this table, they discussed all three of the priorities and they came up with different ideas, but the one that really stuck out for community safety was a walking buddy service. So local people in the community would volunteer to support the elderly on their travels, especially at night time, and then they would identify themselves by even by having a badge or a high vis, and this is just to support the elderly and also bring socializing and conversation. In health and well-being, they looked at an access and support service for them, for the health services, as they feel that they cannot always access doctors online, where they're always saying book your appointment online. So that will be offering support with IT, and also if they are qualified, speaking with doctors as advocates, as sometimes they're not always listened to. And the last one was community development and participation, and this will be a community project, intergenerational, and they will be teaching young people some of the course values that they have grown up with, their own skills, because as they say, that saying, if you lose an elderly person, you lose a library. Therefore, you lose a whole load of knowledge that they can instill in the young people. And then they, in return, will teach them how to use technology. Yes. And also incorporate culture with language, dance, and food, so they will get to share their culture.
Thank you, Sam. That was great. So we're going to go over to Afia's table, and then we're going to jump online.
Hi everyone, my name's Kieran. We had some ideas through mainly focusing around health and well-being and community development and participation. Some ideas spoke about bringing creative well-being into practice. So I've recently worked at ran a community project over at Green Street Library, where I introduced textiles and mindfulness as a way to explore emotional regulation and collective community sort of like narrative building. And yeah, so the sort of ideas is like just bringing in maybe like a sort of textiles initiative that bring people together through mindfulness and creative well-being, but also sort of creating as a collective. And I think it's quite important for even in communities for people, sometimes people are a part of the community but they know of each other but maybe not interact as much. And I think project initiatives like this really help bring people together who sort of get rid of intolerance and bring tolerance into communities. And I just think, yeah, creating as a collective is a good way of building and strengthening within communities as well. And then obviously the creative well-being helps with mental health and even physical health as well.
Great. Thank you very much, Kieran. I think there's somebody else from your table who wants to say something.
One of the things we like to see is that all these projects do really work, but they got to share the whole of Newham, all these projects. We might be working in Green Street area, but it does affect the whole of wider Newham. So we want to share more ideas from East End, Plaistow, different area, and share the experiences to us. It didn't happen last project. We want to see all these projects work together and cover the whole of
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just perhaps to also add that we've heard a lot of projects that could perhaps be merged in one, and 2 or 3 different organizations could work together. Because eventually, some of these activities do impact different type of target groups. So let's try to kind of bring the forces together, and we also replicate the success, but also we keep in mind, these are resident groups who perhaps sometimes are 27, 50 people, and we would like to see this number of people, active grow eventually. So that's the aim. So perhaps it will be one of the tasks that we as a working group maybe try to do this year. Marty.
If I could just add a point to back up my colleague from the stroke group. He wants to spread their ideas across Newham, just as I, in the past, wanted to spread home heritage language learning by our young people across Newham. But one of the problem of the people-powered places project is your voting is at a local level rather than across Newham. So if you want to spread ideas about stroke or ideas about home heritage language learning across Newham, you have to have a second process for a Newham-wide project involving people voting from across Newham. Because my experience is whenever you talk about home heritage language learning at a local small neighborhood level, it gets voted out. They're not interested because they feel it's too specific to a given community, whereas in practice, these communities are very broad. When the Bulgarians, for instance, who teach the Bulgarian language in Barking, you get people from Cambridge and Kent driving every weekend to go to these lessons. So home heritage language learning is not just Newham, it's London. So I think you need a people per places process for a Newham-wide project if you want to include certain ideas that have come out today.
Thank you very much, Martin. Some very valid comments that we'll take back, and we'll explore that. So I'm going to go online. Back to you, Anna. Can you hear us, Anna?
Yes, we have Michelle that's going to share her project idea.
Thank you. Over to you, Michelle.
Hello, everyone. Great. So one of the things that we were speaking about is really seeing how the health of youth can be covered underneath the health and well-being. And one of the things I was sharing is that what is predominant among young people is an issue around mindset. We're talking about youth empowerment, and that's a way that could be tied in underneath that as well. A lot of things comes back down to the mind, but looking at creative ways. And one of the kind of program that we had looked at creating, we call it the 3 M's, which is mind, move, and munch. So mind is around the mental and emotional health, whereas the move is about the physical health and how the physical health lifestyle can then also help with the mental health of the youth. I was sharing about one of the things that we did recently, just this month, the month of June, we used it as a steps challenge. So we had 58 young people all under the age of 25 that took part throughout the month of June doing a steps challenge and just competing with each other in, with fun, to be able to raise awareness around health and eating healthy. Because one of the things that we know that our young people don't eat, we don't, a lot of them don't eat healthy. And if we're looking to really plug that into the older generation and get into that age, if we start it from young, and I think that's that tends to be missing at times, is that, a lot of young people, they don't have an interest in their health or in their mindset or how they eat. But that's a lot of where it stems from. The issues around the mind is just not the mind. It's about movement, it's about eating, and it's about self-care. And so it's really about having creative ways and creative things. And one of the things I was sharing is that we're currently at Upton Park, Harold Road, and there's a theater space that is next door, and just thinking about doing various different activities, because yes, the common thing is once we talk about mental health or anything with young people is straight to therapy. Yes, that is good, but there's also fun ways of helping young people to pay attention to their health. And so that's one of the ideas that we have the concept for.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That was very thorough and very well thought through. So we'll be hoping to see an application coming through from your organisation. Thank you very much, Anna and Michelle, and all our colleagues online. We're fast approaching the end of the session, so I will give another opportunity to one other person if they would like. Any other groups? So we're going to take one more from the front here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sophia, and I'm from Supporting Humanity. We successfully run an over 60s club here, and it really helps with the health and well-being of our attendees. We have about 45-50 attendees every Tuesday coming here, and we try to be creative and interesting in the activities that we go through with the elders. Sometimes we use a very soft approach. So, for example, we have art therapy sessions within the group, where the elders can come and, express their emotions, express the grief sometimes, or express what they're going through at home, maybe their isolation, maybe through art therapy within our sessions. We've also taught the elders how to, use their mobile phones, right? And we try to make it interesting and varied. We've had people coming in to talk about dental hygiene, how they can improve their dental hygiene, how they can spot cancer signs earlier on so that there's a better outcome, hopefully. We've also provide emotional support on the day, bereavement support on the day. So it's really, really important to maybe use softer approaches, more informal approaches as well, because not everybody wants to sit down and say, okay, tell me how you're feeling. Are you feeling upset today? Right, talk to me. No, we use a softer approach, and that's working really, really well. So we're trying to get the over 60s that tend to be more isolated, that tend to find it a little bit more difficult to come out every Tuesday morning here, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we always start off with a debate, a discussion, something they want to talk about. And then we always go on to chair exercise. And if we miss it out 1 week, that's it, we're in trouble, because the elders say to us, right, where's the exercise? We look forward to that. And then we always go on to some sort of activity, or we have an external speaker coming in and talking about, any topic really. Could be something related to the health, well-being, mental well-being, that sort of thing. And then we always finish off with some nice nutritional healthy snacks as well. So I think it's really, really important to have these sorts of health and well-being sessions out there. And I think this is open to the whole borough. It's not just for within this area, but it's open to everybody. So I'll hand it back.
Thank you very much. So some really, really powerful ideas. So we want to see some of these ideas come through to fruition. I'm going to move online, back onto the online now, and I'm going to introduce you to Councillor Charlene McLean, who is the portfolio holder for this programme. So I'm just going to flip over, and then if we get some time at the end, I know there's a group at the end who wants to say a few words. So Councillor Charlene McLean.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit croaky, so I'll keep it short, and hopefully my voice will hold out. But it was so lovely just to hear about the different ideas that people have and how they're going to sort of fit them into the priorities. Before I step on to the next steps, I just wanted to just say a little bit about People Power Places, because it is a really special project, and thank you so much for everybody that's come along to take part of this. It's one of the largest participatory budgeting exercises in the country, and it's something that this Labour administration has been pushing since 2018. And the amount of people that are there in the room and that have been involved over the past 7 years is testament about how important it is to empower people to make changes within their local communities for things that they've identified, and just trying to make a change. So next steps, we've heard some of your ideas, and I'm sure that there's plenty of ideas that we haven't heard yet, but applications for funding will open on Friday the 18th of July and will close on Sunday the 14th of April it says, but that should be September. And it will give you enough time to sort of to help to develop your ideas. I know a lot of people are away over the summer, so we've extended it just to make sure that everyone who wants to make an application has the opportunity to do so. And from feedback that we received from the previous cycles, it was found that the way for people to apply was a bit clunky and not so user friendly. So this time around, we've got a new application called Plinth, which is really user friendly, but also excitingly, you can apply by doing a video or audio, or if you want to just use a traditional Word document. So we're making it as accessible as we can for all of our residents. But if you still have issues, that's not a problem. There will be online support clinics. So they'll be free across the whole of Newham, but there will also be tailored ones from your neighbourhood teams. You all know Saeed and Andrew and Dilawar, and you know your people, but if you don't, they're in the room. They're the hardworking ones, as are the working group members. And yeah, get in touch with them if you need any other support to enable you to put in an application. So why should you apply for funding? Well, not only will you help to bring your project ideas into fruition, but it will help you to build links within the community and to develop your knowledge and skills as well. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, to put in a project application and to work out how much you need to spend on various different things. But the team are there to help you, and there is guidance to assist you with that. But if you are an established voluntary group or a small group, it's an opportunity for you to grow your network and to have like-minded people join your ideas and help them to come into fruition. So as I mentioned, there are the online support clinics. So on Tuesday, the 22nd of July, it's for VCFS-led projects. Thursday, the 24th of July, is for resident-led projects. And Wednesday, the 30th of July, is for youth-led projects. And of course, as I mentioned, the neighbourhoods will be doing Green Street specific ones. I'm not sure if the dates of those are on the next slide. Yep, there we go. So if you want to meet with them, book an appointment. The details are there on the screen. Get your smartphones out and take a picture of it, or if you're online, do the same, just so that you've got their contact details there to book an appointment. But as I said, they're available and they're there to help and to assist, because it would be good for us to have as wide a range of projects for the residents to be able to vote on. So I think that is my last slide, but before I do about event feedback, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of the residents that have come along this evening, for the working group members that work so hard, but also the wider neighbourhoods team who are there facilitating, taking the evenings out to facilitate these discussions to enable you to make a difference in your communities. Also to the local councillors who I know really support this, and it's about empowering residents to make a change in their areas. I think I have thanked everybody. Oh, and the tech, Ricky. Yeah, don't forget Ricky. If Ricky wasn't here, then I wouldn't be online being able to see you all. So the last thing for me is about the event feedback. So you will see on your screen, there's a QR code for you to fill out the form. And also online people, I'm sure Anna will pop in the chat the link to the survey form. So if you could all do that, please, before you leave. It's really important for us to, to improve the process, to hear people's feedback about what they've experienced, and yeah, to see how we can make things better. So tell your neighbours, tell your friends, tell everybody that PPP is back, that what our priorities are, and that there's a few months to put in your project ideas, and yeah, let's have loads so residents have got a wide range to choose to vote from when it's time in the autumn. That's it from me. I think my voice held out just about. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Councillor McLean, and you're not sounding too well, so hopefully you get well soon. But thank you. Everybody around the room today, a huge thank you for staying. Are you all still awake? Oh, I like that. It's the end of the session. That's why you got a lot of energy. So please do, as mentioned earlier, there's Dilwar there. Raise your hand, Dilwar. Please come and speak to Dilwar and myself about the project ideas. and a huge thank you to the rest of the team. Hope you have a safe journey home, and our colleagues online and those online. Thank you very much. So let's give everyone a round of applause, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.